Okay, yeah, okay, I think this is both. I think I got it right this time. Okay, let me straighten this out. Okay, I ain't gonna be about y'all, or at y'all too much longer here. Let me lighten this up a little bit here. Okay. Uh, I say this the new one, and seem like they got control of this already too, but don't none of it surprise me. Anyway, I ain't gonna let the world know I meant what I said. So I'm just gonna get straight off, and then this ain't gonna hold nothing up. Try to keep it down to 10 minutes, 7 to 10 minutes. So let me find Numbers chapter 11 right quick. Try to make this as quick as I can. Just do your best. If it takes longer to explain it and doing your best, then do so. Don't rush it. All right. Okay, it's starting already. Yeah, I knew it was something else that was present. Thank you, Lord. No, I just knew something just didn't feel right. I understand that somebody might be trying to help, but y'all need to understand that spirit that y'all operating out by doing that like that is not right in the way that you're doing it. When you want to help somebody understand something, explain something to somebody, you got to come talk to them. The spirit realm should only be used when we really need to take and use it to communicate. Doing this way causes confusion, y'all. I thank y'all for your help, but y'all not helping. Okay, now y'all just suspend just what I go through all day. And the pulling that I be having sometimes have my whole head sore. Then when the pulling stop, it start easing up. And some of the people don't even realize that the knowledge that they be using is linked to voodoo and stuff like that. Just before I got ready to come on here, when I was talking to the Lord and trying to ask him about something, I just seen a big old black serpent spirit like on the left side of me. Not directly in me, but just right outside of my body raising up. And all yesterday I was fighting with stuff like that. I don't know why this camera is in there like that, but I already got this going. So if you see some lines or something, then forgive me. Anyway, let's get straight to this. Now, the video that I took and posted yesterday, it might not be up after 30 days. They won't let me save the video for longer than that. They didn't even give me the option. They're not even giving me the option on my Facebook page for me to be able to save stuff longer than 30 days. They ain't even giving me the option of it. That's why I was just trying to test that out early to see if I be able to do it that way. So now it got me where I got to take and record on both like I was doing the last time to have a copy of what I was doing at the same time. I said I wasn't going to worry about it because it's God. Then God got to prove this. So I'm just going to do what I can do and then let God do the rest. So I got a copy of the second part, which is going to be real short and direct. So anyway, let's get straight to it. I got that right there. Let's just read this. Okay, today's date, I got a whole bunch come to me. Today's date is 7/17/2023. This is a little early. Today, about 5 different times something come to me. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, 5 different times, but I'm not going to read it all. I'm going to read just one part right here up at the top. Just early this morning, 11:45. As I read John chapter 5, verse 1-4, I began to understand the vision I had on the 14th this month. On the 14th this month, was John chapter 5 really began to speak to me. Okay, the angel that came through the light and gold water is coming soon to trouble the waters for many to be healed and saved. I started to get this revelation, so I'm writing this down, okay? It wasn't told me this just revelation that I was starting to get after all this time of reading John chapter 5, verse 1 to 11, when I get to 4, it hit me. It hit me hard this morning that the vision meant this. That the vision that I had on the 14th was really reflecting John chapter 5, verse 1 to 11, or really verse 1 to 4. Because if you pay attention to John chapter 5, verse 1 to 4, let me read that right quick. I hadn't intended on doing that, but, half explaining something that's not good. I know I can't record on this one thing for too long, so I have to try to speed it up a little bit and try to get some money and get better stuff and do stuff better. Oh, God want me to do stuff better. So let me just give y'all a little background on what I'm talking about. Pay attention to this. John chapter 5, verse 1 to 4. After this, there was a feast of the Jews, and Jesus went up to Jerusalem. Verse 2. Now there is at Jerusalem by the sheep market a pool, which is called in Hebrew tongues Bethesda, having 5 porches. That's verse 2. Having 5 porches. A pool having 5. In this vision, it was like I was going down a river. But I realized, even though it felt like that, I hadn't went down the river yet. I hadn't been in the pool. And I got this revelation after reading this. Pay attention to verse 3. Verse 3. In these lay great multitudes of potent folks, a blind, halt, withered, waiting for the moving of the water. I seen the water moving. I seen the angel come through the water. The angel was stirring up, was coming up. Now pay attention to this. Verse 4. For the angel went down at a certain season. It hit me, bam! Okay? Into the pool, at a certain season, into the pool. The angel was coming out of this white light water that's like light and gold. Now pay attention to verse 4. For an angel went down at a certain season into the pool and troubled the waters. Whosoever then first after the troubling of the waters stepped in was made whole of whatsoever diseases they had. They hit me hard, real hard. I started to understand, that even though it appeared that I was going through it, I was actually in the spirit of looking at it, and it just felt like that. I hadn't went through it yet. And the angel, when I thought about it, the angel stuck out, didn't seem real close up to me. It actually seemed in the distance now that I'm reflecting on it and with the reflecting on it. Anyway, to make the long story short, I understand that the vision was pointing to this. So anyway, I said, okay, I read John chapter 5, verse 1 to 11, like I was told. I got this revelation from that. I took and wrote that down. So I said, I need to be obedient and do what I was told to do and go backwards, reading chapter 22, verse 1 and 2, and come on all the way back to the end with Genesis chapter 2 and 18. So each time that I went to take and go and read Revelation chapter 22, verse 1 and 2, I would get the Acts 8 and 1 and would get stuck, or either couldn't get out of Revelation chapter 2, verse 1 and 2. And then on the third time when I did, on the second time when I went to do it again, I got stuck again. And then when I went back the third time to take and do it, I read a little further, but when I got back down to Revelations chapter 22, help me Lord, chapter 22, verse 2, I got caught up again with the number 24. Because if you read Revelation chapter 22, oh man, I ain't gonna be able to squeeze the time. If you read Revelation chapter 22, verse 2, it reads like this. Verse 2, in the midst of the street, no, do it right. I'm gonna read verse 1, then go to verse 2, okay? But it's in verse 2 that got me. Verse 1 says, and he showed me a pure river of water of life. Pay attention, of life. Clear as crystal, proceeding out of the throne of God and of the Lamb. Verse 2, in the midst of the streets of it, and on either side of the river, very important, was there a tree of life? Was there a tree of life on both sides? It's saying both sides. Pay attention again. Was there a tree of life? And on either side, I'm going backwards so y'all will get this. I'm going backwards. Was there a tree of life going backwards? And on either side of the river, it was on, tree of life was on either side of the river. Now I'm finna ready to go forward. In the midst of the streets of it, on either side of the river, was there a tree of life, which bare 12 manners of fruit, Now this tree on either side of the river bare 12 manners of fruit. Each tree bare 12 manners of fruit. So that hit me. 12 and 12 is 24. So now here it is, we had this number 24 again. Then this took me to Revelation, it come to me, this 24 is in here in Revelation twice again. So I said, it's in Revelation chapter 5, and I couldn't remember the verse, so I read from verse 6 to verse 8, and when you get to verse 8, pay attention to this. Pay attention in this. Now, I need whoever it is watching this to get this. When I got to verse 8, look what verse 8 says. It said, and when he took the book, the 24 angels fell down before the Lamb. 24 one time. Having every one of them harps and vials of odors full, and golden vials full of odors, which are the prayers of the saints. So it hit me. Here it is, and it just hit me again that I even missed this. Because I was looking at 24 twice in here, and then 24 in Revelations to get to 72, which led me back to Numbers. But here it is. I'm looking at it now and it's speaking to me again. We actually had a 72 right here in the 5th verse. Because we pay attention, and when he had taken the book, the 4 and 24 elders fell down before the Lamb. 124. Having every one of them harps. Every one of them had harps. That's 224s. And the golden vials full of odors, which are the prayers of the saints. So each one of them had a harp and golden vials full of odors of the prayer. So there's 24 elders, and each one of them had these two things. That's 72. And I went to think, I'm like, okay, 72 shows in there. And then I remember a time when Jesus sent them out 2 by 2, and there was 70 there, and something had happened when I was doing it, and 72 appeared again. But I did this so long ago, we just gonna stick with this 72. Anyway, this 72 right here led me back to Numbers, and led me back to Numbers. So here it is. I go to pray. 7:17. I'm gonna skip the other 3 times. 7/17/2023 at 2:49 p.m. As I prayed, I kept seeing a black vessel bigger than any I have ever seen before. It was moving in the spirit realm from one place, from some place far away in the universe. I felt. Anyway, it kept appearing and disappearing. But each time I knew it was getting closer. So I asked over and over what's going on and why I was seeing this. and why I was seeing this and what did it mean. I got no answer. And then as my prayer was coming to an end, or as my prayer was coming to an ending, I seen a vessel of white crystals that shine like light and fire appear, then disappear. 2, after the black vessel appeared again, I then asked as the horn and trumpet blew, what is this? I heard destruction finally. Yeah, that's what I heard. Finally got the answer saying that this that was coming was had to do with destruction. Then my prayer ended. I also was told that this was early in my prayer before the prayer ended, but that was the part that really had me because it went on for the longest. I also was told that it wasn't a coincidence that the 24 spoke to me again today as I studied and led me to look at the connection there in Revelations 22, verse 2, as well as leading me back to Numbers chapter 11, verse 23 to 27 is what it really was. Okay, so let me go there because this is running out. Okay, so I got to go to Numbers right quick. I don't have to ask you enough time, Lord, to where I know that you hear me. I'm gonna stop doubting that you don't hear me because I know that you do. I'm just gonna have to be patient, just like you said. Anyway, we're in Numbers chapter 11, verse 23. And please pay attention to this. This is 11. Remember the 101 years as you run in the process, the first number you're gonna get when you get rid of 0, you're gonna have the number 11, which is 11. We're in the 11th chapter. Okay? Now pay attention to what I said yesterday, or come to understand again yesterday, that the year 23 was a year that God was speaking to us. Now here we go again, example of this. Verse 23 in chapter 11 of Numbers. And the Lord said unto Moses, is the Lord hand white short? Deuteronomy 11:11 was the first thing talked about in God's hand. Okay? Thou shalt see now whether my words shall come to pass unto thee or not. God speaking. Now let's go to 24, verse 24. Oh, we're almost 20 minutes. Verse 24. And Moses went out and told the people the words of the Lord. He went out and told the people the words of the Lord, and gathered the 70 men of the elders of the people and set them around about the tabernacle. And yes, I did something similar on this before, but listen to how it's really speaking now. Okay? Around the tabernacle. Now they gathered. He did this in 24. Action. Now watch what comes next. Action started in 24 after God spoke on the 23rd. Now here we go with the 25th. Now remember that the 24th and 25th year come together in the 24th. Oh my God, they needed this. Anyway, verse 25. And the Lord came down in a cloud and spake unto him and took of the spirit that was up on him. And it should say, no, I can't tell you what you should say, Lord. Oh, don't get beside myself, forgive me. But anyway, let's come to understand this, that God took of the spirit that was up on Moses, that God gave Moses. And God did this and gave it unto the 70 elders. So what God had took and filled Moses with, he took and put up on the 70 elders. And it came to pass that when the spirit rested upon them, they prophesied. and did not cease. Now, verse 25, when they doing this, have 46 words exactly. 46 do what? Breaks down to 10. I spoke to y'all about that yesterday. Okay, let's go on to 26. But watch this. Watch this. Verse 26, when you break it down, that's 8. Okay? And it's showing how this is the beginning, because look what happened in verse 26. But there remained 2 of the men in the camp. 2 of the men remained in camp. The name of the one was Eldad, forgive me, Lord, and the name of the other was Medad. I hope I got something right. And the Spirit rested upon them too. They outside of the camp. And I mean, outside of where the 70 is. And there were on them, and they were of them that were written, but went not out onto the tabernacle. And they prophesied in the camp. Like I said before, and tried to make this clear before, there's going to be some that's going to be seeking God in their house when they're going to get hit with this too. Just like that day with me in the shower when I was praying. Just like that day with Tiffany Montgomery that day when she was praying. Just like so many other people that have encounters with God when they walk and talk to Him. You know what I mean? To be by themselves in their car singing and praying. It's going to happen. It's going to happen in a powerful way, real powerful way. I'm even getting the feeling that we're going to this is going to at least be going on for at least 24 months strong. I could be wrong. I wasn't told that. It's me speaking what I feel that the Lord might do. He didn't tell me 24 months. Okay? But I believe it's going to happen, and it's not going to be a short length of time. Now, I'm finna get off of here. I told y'all I didn't mean to be this long. Forgive me. Have a blessed day.